Though its anniversary was a couple of months ago, it turned 45. Let's prepare ourselves and let's do the time warp again. And let's talk about the Rocky Horror Picture Show. P.S. Please don't sue me, Fox. Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. So greetings, my fellow YouTubers, and welcome to Big D's Entertainment Rankings and Reviews. My name is Doyle, better known to you as the Big D. And this time around, I bring to you a review of the 1975 musical comedy cult classic horror flick, The Rocky Horror Picture Show, released by Fox, produced by Lou Adler and Michael White, directed by Jim Sharman. The film is based on the 1973 musical stage production known as The Rocky Horror Show, with music, book, and lyrics done by O'Brien. Richard O'Brien, of course, who was in the cast. And he co-wrote the screenplay with Mr. Sharman. Anyway, the production is a parody tribute to the science fiction horror B movies of the 1930s through the early 1960s. The film also includes Tim Curry, Barry Bostwick, and Susan Sarandon in one of her early films. Films narrated by Charles Gray with cast members from the original Royal Court Theatre, Roxy Theatre, and Belasco Theatre productions, including Neil Campbell and Patricia Quinn. Yeah. Anyway, it involves a young engaged couple whose car breaks down the rain near a castle where they seek a phone to get some help. Well, the castle or country home is occupied by strangers in elaborate costumes celebrating an annual convention, and they discover the head of the house is Dr. Frank-N-Furter, an apparently mad scientist who actually is an alien transvestite who creates a living muscle man in his laboratory. And they are seduced separately, the couple is, by the mad scientist, and eventually released by the servants who take control. Anyway, let's get to our story. Now, a criminologist narrates the tale of the newly engaged and innocent couple, Brad Majors and Janet Weiss, who find themselves lost with a flat tire on a cold and rainy late November evening near a town called Denton in 1974. Seeking a telephone, the couple walks to a nearby castle where they discover a group of strange and outlandish people who are holding an annual Transylvanian convention. They are soon swept into the world of Dr. Frank-N-Furter, that's Tim Curry, a self-proclaimed sweet transvestite from transsexual Transylvania. I'm trying not to sing too much. I don't really want to get into trouble, and hopefully get no con-picking claim, considering after what happened last night, which if you've already heard in my previous short vid I put up earlier. But anyway, thank you for giving me the word on what I need to do the next time I do a live stream. Thank you. Okay, now where was I? Oh, yes. The ensemble of the convention attendees also includes servants Riff-Raff, his sister Magenta, and a groupie named Columbia. In his lab, Frank claims to have discovered the secret to life itself. His creation, Rocky, is brought to life. The ensuing celebration is soon interrupted by Andy, an ex-delivery boy, both Frank's ex-lover and Columbia's current partner, as well as a partial brain donor to Rocky, who rides out of a deep freeze on a motorcycle, who is actually played by Meatloaf before he even put out his mega-selling album Bad Out of Hell. At least I think it came out before this. Well, I'll check it out later. I'll get some info later. But anyway, he then proceeds to seduce Columbia, get the Transylvanians dancing and singing, and intrigue Brad and Janet. When Rocky starts Dancing and enjoying the performance, a jealous Frank kills Eddie with a pickaxe, and Columbia screams in horror and is devastated by Eddie's death. Frank justifies killing Eddie as a mercy killing to Rocky, and they depart to the bridal suite. Brad and Janet are shown to separate bedrooms, where each is visited by Frank, and they are seduced too, who poses as Brad when visiting Janet, and then as Janet when visiting Brad. Janet, upset and emotional, wanders off to look for Brad when she discovers Frank in bed with Brad, who is smoking a cigarette on a video monitor. She then discovers Rocky cowering in his birth tank, hiding from Riff-Raff, who has been tormenting him. While tending to his wounds, Janet becomes intimate with Rocky as Magenta and Columbia watch from their bedroom monitor. After discovering that his creation is missing, Frank returns to the lab with Brad and Riff-Raff, where Frank learns that an intruder has entered the building. Brad and Janet's old high school science teacher, Dr. Everett V. Scott, has come looking for his nephew, Eddie. Frank suspects that Dr. Scott investigates UFOs for the government. Upon learning of Brad and Janet's connection to Dr. Scott, Frank suspects them of working for him. Brad denies any knowledge of it, and Dr. Scott assures Frank that Brad is not involved in UFOs. Frank, Dr. Scott, Brad, and Riff-Raff then discover Janet and Rocky together under the sheets in Rocky's birth tank, upsetting Frank and Brad each. Magenta interrupts the reunion by sounding a massive gong and saying that dinner is prepared. Rocky and the guests share an uncomfortable dinner, which they soon realize has been prepared from Eddie's mutilated remains. Ugh. Janet runs screaming into Rocky's arms, provoking Frank to chase her through the halls. And soon Janet, Brad, Dr. Scott, Rocky, and Columbia all meet in Frank's lab, where Frank captures them with the Medusa transducer, transforming them into nude statues. After dressing them in cabaret costumes, Frank unfreezes them and they perform a live cabaret floor show, complete with an RKO radio tower and a swimming pool with Frank as the leader. Now, I'm going to get to the last bit, the ending. You got 5 seconds to stop this video. Go to the description box below and fast forward to the time below to avoid ending spoilers, okay? Here we go. Okay, you've been warned. Anyway, as this little bit of a dance occurs, Riff-Raff and Magenta interrupt the performance, revealing themselves and Frank to be aliens from the planet Transsexual in the galaxy of Transylvania. They stage a coup and announce a plan to return to their home planet. In the process, they kill Columbia and Frank, who has failed his mission. An enraged Rocky gathers Frank in his arms, climbs to the top of the tower, and plunges to his death in the pool below. Riff-Raff and Magenta release Brad, Janet, and Dr. Scott, then depart by lifting off in the castle itself. How? The survivors are then left crawling in the dirt. And the narrator concludes that the human race is equivalent to insects crawling on the planet's surface, lost in time and lost in space and meaning. End of story. So, what did I think of the Rocky Horror Picture Show? At first, I didn't know what to think about it. I had wanted to see this numerous times until it was maybe about late 90s, early 2000s. I finally got to see it. Excuse me. I have to say, it's a strange film, but I like it for what it is. I mean, while I'm going to say that it has been considered a cult classic, and it has been internationally, and has been considered by me as one of the greatest movie musical films. Movie musicals of all time. I have to say, yeah, it is in ways. I mean, before we even got some other good musical films such as Grease and Annie, which look for a review of that coming up next month. I believe. Yeah, I'm going to be reviewing Annie next month. I was going to do Grease, but that's still on hold for now. That will be done. But many others followed as well. But anyway, I'm going to have to say the story is real good, the directing's real good, and the cast is real good. Now, of course, there's Tim Curry as Dr. Frank-N-Furter, Susan Sarandon as Janet, Barry Bostwick as Brad, Richard O'Brien, who I mentioned earlier, is Riff-Raff, Patricia Quinn as Magenta, Nell Campbell as her real name, although she's credited as Little Nell, as Columbia. Jonathan Adams plays Dr. Scott. Peter Henwood plays Rocky Horror. Meatloaf plays Eddie. Give me just a moment, please. I'm trying to see this. Yes, this came out in 1975, just 2 years before he released Bat Out of Hell. I was correct. Yep, just as I thought. Let's see, and Charles Gray as a criminologist, an expert, as he's credited. But anyway, yeah, this was real good. But the real cool thing is the music, of course. Now, if you haven't seen the movie, this was actually one of the first few movies to actually have a different rendition of the Fox fanfare. Starting out with a little bit of a rock and drums solo intro, and then the piano and what have you. That was really something. And then we go into the intro song, which of course is Science Fiction Double Feature, which I love that song. That's one of my favorite songs. But there's lots of other good songs like Damn It, Janet, Sweet Transvestite, Touch Me, of course. And, of course, probably a favorite of everyone, including myself, The Time Warp. I love that song. I need to listen to that song again. That song rocks with the best. Because apparently the last I listened to that song was just a cover of it done by the Chipmunks and the Chipettes. But anyway, the cast was real good. Anyway, I loved a lot of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Again, the story, the cast, the music, etc. Would I recommend the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Hell yeah, you need to check this out. It is on Blu-ray. They recently put out an anniversary coming out. Now, let's see, and they actually did a little special of this, of a kind of a musical remake on the Fox network called The Rocky Horror Picture Show, Let's Do the Time Warp Again, where it had Laverne Cox play Dr. Frank-N-Furter, Ryan McCartan as Brad, and Victoria Justice as Janet, and Tim Curry as the criminologist, and Adam Lambert as Eddie. And and then we have Ben Vereen as Dr. Scott. Yeah, incredible, and that actually premiered about almost 4 years ago. Well, it's close. A couple more days, it'll be celebrating 4 years, and was directed by Kenny Ortega, who also directed the High School Musical trilogy, as well as Michael Jackson's This Is It. He choreographed it and executive produced this. Incredible, huh? Anyway, you gotta give the Rocky Horror Picture Show a shot if you've not seen it. This is a film I would recommend. So, what are your thoughts on the Rocky Horror Picture Show? Tell me in the comment section below. If you like this, click the like button below and subscribe to my channel as well. Excuse me. And be a part of the Big D Nation. Anyway, join me next time when I bring to you a review of the original Teen Wolf from 1985. Thanks for watching, and if you like this, you can check out these other fun-filled flicks. If you want some more music and horror, go to the upper left-hand corner for my review of Slumber Party Massacre 2. Or, if you want a good movie with some pretty good music, or should I say a theme song, go to the upper right-hand corner for my review of the original Fright Night that I did last week. And If you just want some, I don't know, horror comedy, go to the bottom left-hand corner and see my review of Isle Hands that I did back in May of this year. And the bottom right-hand corner is the button you can click to subscribe. If you like rankings and reviews on movies, TV, music, video games, etc., then I'm your guy. And guess what? After my quick video, I've expanded a little bit on subscribers. I'm now at 243 subscribers. If I can get 7 more, there may be a Q&A coming up. We'll see what happens. Thanks again for watching my review of the Rocky Horror Picture Show. Until next time, I'm the Big D saying, see ya!